Anyone else who we brought on from PFF, Pro Football Focus, a veteran of the Sloan Analytics Conference?
Yeah.
You know what we would call him?
Nerd.
Okay. Except
this guy's 6'10".
This guest is 6'7". I thought it was 6'7".
10, man.
Oh, boy.
10.
Okay. 6'10", former hard-throwing righty in the Milwaukee Brewers system, out of North Reading, Steve Palazzolo from PFF.
Palazzolo.
Go Hornets.
So we don't. Anyone above 5'7", I don't call a nerd to their face.
Especially with hands the size of hubcaps. I shake your hand, Steve. You engulfs mine.
Except for me, I'm 5'8".
Anyway, Steve Palazzolo joins us. He's joined us the last couple of years here on Radio Row. He does fine work on PFF. It is analytically driven, which is just fine. Gets us into the conversation. So, real quick, what was PFF's grade on Jacoby Myers? And did you know then that the Patriots made a mistake letting him go?
I mean, he's still like a good number 2 wide receiver. We always graded him really well. The dude gets open, catches first downs, moves the chains. He's always been that good receiver. The challenge, I think, in today's NFL is how much you pay a number 2 wide receiver. And he ended up going for a pretty good price to the Raiders. And obviously, he was so reliable for the Patriots. It did, come back to bite them a little bit this year.
Okay, so how do you grade a receiver? Like, does he must get hit by? He's not fast. His physical measurables, right? He's probably not fast or quick. He's got decent size, but, so do you grade that, or do you grade open, he gets open and catches the ball? Like, how does an analyst look at that?
We are just pure production-based. Now, when we're trying to project a player, you might take that into account, but the PFF grade is just production.
I see.
And so that's why players don't always love it, because we're over there watching every single snap saying, did you beat the block? Did you not? Did you make a great throw and it happened to be dropped? We'll give you credit for that throw. So over time, you're just getting, I think, better data to evaluate players, especially when they're at the NFL level, just pure production-based.
Steve Palazzolo from Pro Football Focus. Yes, ma'am?
So I was going to ask you, is your background in analytics, numbers, stats, or do you actually devise any of the formulas if you have them? Or
I'm not, no.
Like,
I'm not
are you smart?
Yes, but not that level. Good question. Smart enough.
I meant really smart. Yeah.
No, I'm not. So you can't call me a nerd. I'm not creating the algorithms or anything like that. I mean, it's all based off film here, so I'm not the one putting it together. But it's pretty simple, right? We put positives on players, we put negatives on player, add it all up at the end. We've hired a lot of other smart guys to interpret the data a little bit more. We've created a wins above replacement metric, much like in baseball. I'm sure you guys love that.
Oh, I can't stand it.
Oh, but it's good. But it works. The best NFL teams have more WAR at the end of the day. And it's actually a really projectable metric. It's a lot of fun.
So hold on. It's a lot of fun. Hold on a minute now.
Yeah.
But just first of all, your proprietary information is used by all 32 teams, right?
Correct. And every FBS team and half the FCS. So they get our entire database. They'll get all the play-by-play grading. But we also just collect over 200, 300 data points on every single play.
So this just isn't like for public consumption. You actually provide this information to teams and they use it.
Yes, we take snippets of it for public consumption because it's great for fantasy football. It's great for, placing a wager here. But it's, all of the data goes to teams, and then they can link it to video to just see what they want to see.
Okay, Steve, give me the formula for football WAR.
It's based off our grading, how well you play.
No. Like, for example, I will show you the baseball WAR formula.
Parentheses.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
This is PFF grade, snap count, and then facet of play.
Facet of play?
It's that simple. Yeah, so like if you have a positive grade in run defense versus coverage, those have different values, basically, because coverage is more valuable to winning games.
Got it.
So we just look at how well a guy plays, how often they do it, and then how that translates to wins.
So further evidence, your formula is that run defense.
We just gave it all away.
Okay, I was going to say that the run part of the game is less significant, obviously less significant.
Yeah, and we look, and then we look at how much things are stable. What can you predict? So in baseball, your 3 true outcomes, your walks, your strikeouts, your home runs, and the other the things that tend to fluctuate, the things that stay consistent. We try to focus on what's consistent, and our grading is actually really consistent year over year.
So, for example, FWAR, batting runs plus base running runs plus fielding runs plus positional adjustment plus league adjustment plus replacement runs / divided by runs per win.
I get it, man. I
mean,
almost.
what is that sports, Steve?
I mean, if you know how to use it, maybe.
That's not sports.
I mean, I almost made it to the big leagues in a year where my my BABIP was really good. I had a really low BABIP, and it almost fooled the Giants into putting me into the big leagues. And then my BABIP was terrible when I was with the Mariners, and they released me.
Right,
so I get it. I'm like a victim of analytics.
Right. The analysts will tell you that BABIP, a good BABIP is luck.
Yeah.
So you were lucky.
I was giving up laser beams right at people sometimes. And then other times I was like our shortstop. Remember Mike Carp, former Red Sox.
Sure.
We put him in left field when I was in AAA. Dude couldn't catch the ball in left field. Sorry, Mike. Cost me 3 runs.
Oh, he could
with the
hit. That was it. Yeah,
he could hit.
Everything else.
So football war is what simply?
It's using PFF grades, how well a guy's playing based off our grades, how often they're doing it, their snap count, and then adjusting for the facet of play. So a pass is obviously more valuable than a run.
So based on your data and PFF's data, what are you predicting for this game Sunday?
We've got the Niners with a slight edge, and it's one of those I actually look at our data. I'm like, man, it's accounting for all of the information, which includes the Chiefs' entire season. And then you just look at how the Chiefs have played these last 3 weeks. They went from dropping passes left and right, letting Mahomes down. Mahomes not playing his best football. They have just played great, clean football. They're not dropping passes. No penalties. Mahomes isn't missing throws. So I think the season-long data is saying, yeah, the Niners are a better overall team. I'm looking at the playoff run, though. If the Chiefs play the way they did, though, I think they're the better team.
So is the data get weighed more because of the playoff games, though?
Not necessarily, no. I think more data is always better, and you want to, over time, you generally want to weigh it more recently.
Does the PFF nerd, due respect, value clutch and late because the baseball analyst does not factor in clutch and late? It's a stat that doesn't exist for the baseball analyst.
I think yes and no. I mean, I think one of the reasons why Tom Brady's the best ever is no matter what situation you put him in, he wins. Right, the fourth quarter comebacks, the fourth quarter comeback opportunities, and in football it's different, right? If I'm pitching late in the game and I want to do better, it doesn't matter. Like I'm still facing the hitter. When you're the quarterback, the ball's in your hands, and hey, I'm down a touchdown. I know I actually have to take more chances. That's where Brady was special. So I think clutch and late does actually matter in football because the quarterback dictates how he throws the ball. Aaron Rodgers is not great at fourth quarter comebacks.
Thank you.
Because
I don't need the analyst to tell me that. I watch it. He's so overrated in that spot.
He doesn't take the necessary chances, right? Peyton Manning and Tom Brady actually had a very good feel for when we're up in the game, we're more conservative. When we're down, we're more aggressive. So I think I'm just talking QBs here.
And this guy,
they
too,
can control it.
Feels to me like Mahomes is that guy,
Mahomes,
too.
yeah, he gets it, right? And he's been playing. He even came out and said, look, my defense is playing great. I'm just going to play mistake-free football. That is greatness type of stuff that a Tom Brady can do. And, game manager, this and that. I mean, Brady knew how to dictate the situation.
Steve Palazzolo, Pro Football Focus. So do you do team war?
Yeah.
Where's the Patriots war at?
There you go.
Very low. It's very low. I mean, they're bad. They're a bad football team.
Give me the
honestly.
number.
I don't know off the top of my head. I just know that teams that are like 7 or above win 10 games. Teams that are around 5, they win 7 to 9 games. And Patriots were low. And the quarterback is the most valuable player in all of sports, really. And it's like an NBA superstar, right? They have so much that they can control and make everybody better. And of course, the quarterback situation was horrendous. So the Patriots weren't good.
So where else do they rank low? Who was it? God, sometimes we pull out your rankings when it really proves a point. Oh, God, who was it tackle they got?
Verdarian Lowe.
Verdarian Lowe ranked 236 out of 237 tackles in week.
That was correct.
Something like that, right?
And if you use our college data, you would know that might be the case. Verdarian Lowe didn't grade very well in Illinois, so he didn't grade well in the NFL. So, yeah, the O-line was bad.
The wide receivers must have been terrible.
The wide receivers were bad. There was nothing really good on the offensive side of the ball. And then, we split it up, run blocking and pass blocking. They didn't do anything very well when it comes to an offensive line play.
They pretty much sucked at everything on offense.
Yeah.
They did.
I'm glad you had me on here to confirm that.
It was comprehensive.
We have statistical, analytical confirmation that they blow.
See? We were right.
Steve, do you have grades on these college quarterbacks coming out?
I do. Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do we got?
I mean, Caleb Williams, I think. I mean, look, the grades never directly correlate, and predicting quarterback play is always going to be difficult, in part because the standard is higher, right? Like, do you want just a start? I know you guys don't want just a starter.
Right.
Like, you don't want a guy that's just top 15. You want the elite guy that is a game changer. So predicting that is a challenge with any data. I like Caleb Williams because of what he potentially can do. I like Drake May because he's young and has shown a lot, and I think he can do a lot. I think all the other guys come with some level of question marks. I think Jaden Daniels going to rise here, and you're going to hear rumors about him going to New England at 3.
But not on your big board. You feel like he's...
I'd go Caleb Williams, Drake May, and I think there's probably... I got to watch a little bit more Jaden Daniels and put it all together, but he had one great year at LSU. It was unbelievable last year, but he did it at age 23. That mattered. When I was dealing at 24 years old in A-ball, they said, no, you're too old for that. I mean, the NFL that matters a little bit. I think Daniels being 23 last year.
Okay.
Makes perfect sense.
Steve, thanks for coming by.